right, well, it's Facebook Friday.
It is.
Gordon and Mark Mallory here because Linda is
Gone
on vacation. Actually, so Linda, here's how dedicated Linda is. So on Tuesday, right, because it's Labor Day, short week, right? So I come in Tuesday morning, okay, and I'm like, okay, let's do stand-up, and Linda's not there, and I said, well, Linda's off today because she has vacation this week. And they're like, Linda's drawing blood. I was like, what? And so then she comes over, she was helping out, Sherry was, I think, caught in traffic, and so Linda is drawing blood. She comes over to stand-up, and I'm like, Linda, you're on vacation this week. She goes, I am? I go, yeah. I said, now that's somebody who loves their job, Mark. Loves their job so much, even there during vacation.
That's a true story.
It's a true story.
You're not making
this
that
week.
up.
Yeah, this week. I'm just telling you, this week. But Linda then realized she actually was on vacation, and then she's like, oh, I'm on vacation, so then she left. So
that's a great story.
Yeah, I told you, how dedicated are your employees when they actually come to work on vacation?
And when's the last time you forgot you were on vacation?
That's
Who
right,
forgets they're on vacation?
Something I should just can't. Why even give people vacation at all? I mean, if they love working here so much, why even offer vacation? I think it's a benefit you don't need to offer, right? I mean, there's no labor issues.
Yeah. Make it happen.
Make it happen. All right, so so you got the guys. The guys are here, right?
We're here.
We're here. Dr. Keenan has fled. We're the only men in this building. Okay, that's it, baby. Just you and me. So I won't say that Mark set me up, but Mark did kind of set me up. So last week we had a live radio interview with Janet Parshall.
Yeah, on Moody Radio.
On Moody Radio, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. She's a good friend of the ADC and lives in D.C. area, right? Lives in D.C. area. And so I had a live radio interview, okay?
Right.
And now I've been married, this will be 36 years in December, okay?
Congratulations. 36.
36. And during this interview with Allison texting me while I was live, she talked about how I ended up here in Tennessee, leaving the D.C. suburbs and coming here. And she said, learn about how this doctor was nagged by his wife about leaving his job and taking a new job, or something to that effect.
She said nag.
She said nag.
Was used.
Nag.
And was used.
Allison texted me, was I just called a nag on live national radio broadcast? I said, I had never called my wife a nag. I'm going to go on the record, okay, now.
I've never heard you call her a nag.
Never. Okay, never. Now, my wife is an engineering PhD, is a very clear, logical mind. And I sometimes ask her, I said, is it hard being right all the time? I mean, it must be hard being right all the time. It is so frustrating, and she is usually right. And it's terrible, to be in an argument with my wife, realizing halfway through the argument that logically she actually is right. What do you do at that point? Right? I mean, then you're really in trouble, right? Because you realize you have to just throw in the towel.
Yeah.
Right? So, but I have never accused her of being a nag. So you can, have you posted a link to that?
Yes, I posted a link to it. Yeah.
You can put the link in there. So you listen to yourself, okay? And you can sort of hear Dr. Gordon gasp, in the background when she says, But by the end of the interview, it had changed to nudge. So you nudged him. So Allison said, I went from a nag to a nudge.
Yeah, and the thing is, that was Janet's characterization. It was this, your appearance on the show was not pitched to her that way.
Right.
No, I mean, you've told
you
the
say
story.
that now, but I'm just saying, I wasn't privy to this, but I mean, it could have been pitched. I don't know.
It could have been. Depends how honest you think I am.
Yes, you're pretty honest. So. But still, yes, it was, I'm sure she would have been so it went from nag to nudge.
Nudge is much better than nag.
Yeah.
Your wife's not a nag.
No, she's not. But let me say, ladies, I know sometimes you have to nudge your husbands.
That happens a lot.
Right?
That happens a lot.
And so a couple, who recently came through IVF, and we were just talking about options, and she said, this is what I want to do. And the husband's like, well, why don't we do that? And I said, well, I think your wife is right. This is probably the better thing. He said, well, why not that? And then finally she said, we're doing this. Okay, this is what we're doing. And then he was like, oh okay. So, I mean, you just have to listen. I mean, men are different, right? We're always like, oh, I'm sure it'll happen, right? I mean, you just wait. I mean, it's been 5, 6, 8 years. But, it'll probably happen. I mean, no, it probably, sadly, it probably
won't.
won't, right? And so I think that's the issue. And so I think that again, the nudging of the husbands is kind of like an important feature.
Listen to the nudge. I mean, if you want a happy life, listen to the nudge.
And,
whether she's right or not.
And Anna, our andrologist, our videographer today.
Yes.
So she's behind the camera. So Anna, these guys, when they come into the sperm test, they're like, I don't need to do this test. I got plenty of women pregnant in high school. I'm like, really? This is the guy you picked to reproduce with? I mean, seriously? I mean, that's the best you can do?
Do they really say stuff?
Well, maybe more in D.C. than here. But I'm just saying, I've had guys say that. I'm like,
terrible.
What? I know, right? It's like, seriously?
That's awful.
That's your position. You've been married now for this, and your position is, well, I got people pregnant in high school, and so therefore I don't want to do a sperm test? I mean, sir, I'm just saying. And I think Anna is very sensitive to these guys. I had zero complaints. I mean, I tell you, and it's a sensitive issue, right? It's a sensitive issue.
Sure.
And so I think, but it's not just guys. You sort of have to be part of this. Fertility is a disease of couples. I mean, it is.
It is.
This is the way it is, right? We are complementary in our sexes, right?
Right.
I mean, it takes both. It takes both. And that's just the way it is.
And you are absolutely, I mean, and of course I deal more with NEDC side. I see both, but I mean, I really dig into the NEDC people. Almost every time it's the wife who has led the journey to embryo. Now, not always.
No,
in fact, man who who got the wife's attention about it. So it does happen both ways, but and almost always they need to give the guy a little bit of time, and the guy ends up being glad he listened to the nudge.
That's right. I mean, that's it's all about that. It's all about that, and I think that is so important as we talk with our patients. I say, well, do I have to come? Yes, you have to come. I tell a story. I had a guy, not here, okay, and he was like, hey, Dr. Gordon, so my buddies are going scuba diving in the Bahamas this weekend, and my wife's supposed to have her egg collection. Can I go? I'm like, what? He said, well, can I go? I'm like, what? He said, well, I asked her. She said it was fine. We could just freeze sperm. I'm like, are you seriously contemplating going scuba diving in the Bahamas the weekend that your wife is undergoing a medical procedure, which is
it's involved.
It is involved.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a safe procedure, but it's a medical procedure.
It takes a while.
That's right. I said, and you are seriously thinking about going scuba diving in the Bahamas when she's having it. Well, she said it was okay. I go, she didn't think you were stupid enough to ask permission to go to the Bahamas when she's having her egg collection.
Right.
I said, are you out of your mind?
Yeah, good.
And I said, how long have you been married? He goes, like 2 years. He goes, do you want to be married for 3? Because you are not going in the right direction here, okay? You need to really not do this. And he's like, well, I asked her. He goes, you weren't supposed to even think it was okay to ask her. Right? I mean, you need to show up. You need to be there. You need to hold her hand. You need to be supporting of her. Okay?
He's got a lot to learn.
Yeah, he's got a lot to learn. So I mean, I hope they're still married. I don't know. I'm just saying. I tried to give him good advice. I have been married for almost 36 years. Okay?
Yeah, you learn a thing or two.
You do learn a thing or two.
Right.
So you say, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked. I'm sorry. That was stupid. I made a mistake.
Yeah. Just don't bring that up.
Yeah. Just don't.
Note to self. Just don't bring that up.
Right. So as I said, I think that as the men here in this building, the only men here, okay, we speaking to all men out there, okay, just be smart, right? Listen to your wives. Understand that you are sometimes need to be nudged. Sometimes, and men should lead, right? We believe that men should lead in their families. Right? That's true. But yet, sometimes we are not leading in the way that we need to be leading.
Well, women are often the wiser half of the couple. That's just how it is.
They are, and it is. And the sad thing is that it is not equal in terms of the participation in the process. That's true. And so that's the deal, and that's why you need to be there. You stand by your wife. You hold her hand. You tell her you love her. You support her. You don't complain about the prices, not in front of her. You always complain later. It's Dr. Gordon, but whatever. Then I'll send you to LJ, and then go get it.
Right.
I'm just saying, it's important. So that's the lesson. So the lesson for today is, again, my wife is not a nag. Not refer to my wife as a nag.
No.
Janet backed off and called her a nudge.
Yes.
Nudger.
Did you say something about that?
No, I didn't. No, I was sitting there, like in between, like they go to commercial break, you're sitting there, and there's like dead air time, right? You're just not talking to anybody. I did not, and she said, did you tell her not to call? I said, no, I did not. And that is God's truth. I did not tell her not to call my wife that. But I have never referred to my wife as a nag.
No.
Never.
I have never referred to your wife as a nag.
I know.
No.
So there, we're all clear. So we're good to go for another week. So anyway, well, Linda will be back next week. At which time the views will be hundreds, and we'll probably
skyrocket.
37.
This is going to be a low week.
It's the way it is.
Low ratings.
Yeah. Maybe we'll bring Anna in next week with and then she'll be in front of the camera.
and then they'll go back up. That's how it goes.
Well, wish you all a wonderful weekend and enjoy, hopefully, a little bit of fall coming our way. It's a little bit cooler here in East Tennessee.
Hopefully.
So hopefully it is. Anyway, but you all take care, be safe, and see you next week. Dr. Gordon and Mark signing off from Facebook Friday.